opening day 2018, and we walk you back to Baltimore's Camden Yards. Tom Davis with Rick Dempsey, and joined now by General Manager of the Orioles, Dan Duquette. Busy month for you, sir. How about that?
Well, sometimes patience is rewarded, and we were able to add a couple of good ball players to help us this season. And hopefully the guys we added for the pitching staff will do a good job for us. Cashner and Cobb, they're well regarded throughout the league, and Cobb especially is proven in the American League East, which is, of course, is our first order of business. And I like the ball club we have coming back. I think we can be very competitive. Yanks are good, Red Sox are good, but I think the Orioles are pretty good too.
Now, Dan, when you look at the Orioles, just generally speaking, over the last, during your tenure since 2012 here, it seems like you're the Rodney Dangerfields of the baseball field with the projections. I mean, the projections go from anywhere from 71 to 78 wins, and every year you top it. What's your thoughts on these projections, how negative they are towards the Orioles?
Well, Pacoda doesn't really like the Orioles. I'm not exactly sure how they handle their projections, but we generally do better than what they think. You know, our formula is good defense, power hitters up and down the lineup, and a good bullpen. If we have decent starting pitching, I think we do this year, we should do pretty well. I like to point to the fact that we made the playoffs in 2012, 2014, 2016. It's an even year. 2018, why not make the playoffs again and take that step? So we go back to the dance floor.
Well, Dan, obviously you're focused on getting some pitchers in here, and you managed to do that. You pulled the rabbit out of your hat late in the spring and came up with a couple of pretty good guys. I don't know how you did that, but how do you feel about the lineup now, too? There was no big blockbuster deals with this ball club. You're putting all your trust in Mancini and Scope and Machado, of course. What do you feel about the lineup the way it's directed right now?
Well, I like our offense from the right side is really good. Adding Beckham to Machado, Scope, Mancini made us very consistent. We're going to need to have better balance this year, and I think we do have better balance with the addition of Rasmus from the left side and our catcher Chance Sisco. And if Anthony Santander emerges as a ball player that can help us this year, he's a switch hitter with power. That makes us much stronger from the left side and a better balanced offensive team overall.
You mentioned Chance Sisco. I'm kind of interested in that move. Nobody thought he was going to make the ball club. He fought his way onto this team right here. What are you thinking about his defense compared to his offense now?
Well, this kid has got some good talent. He's worked hard on his defense. He improved his throw in the second half of the year in the minors, and that's something he's going to have to work on. But he's an excellent hitter. He's a left-handed hitter with power to the opposite field. And that's a rare commodity. I think our fans are going to like this kid. He's young. He's getting to the big leagues at a young age. He works hard at his craft, and he's learning how to handle the pitchers. And I think he's going to be a good addition to this year's ball club and for many years to come.
Dan, we've got some interesting numbers on Manny Machado hitting the ball hard, but maybe he hits it so hard that it goes to other players. I mean, he had the most hard hit balls last year, fly balls and line drives, 152. But when you get down to it, his average on hard hit balls was the third down the list there. Is it just a matter of bad luck, when you hit the ball that hard and it doesn't drop in, or what?
Nobody hits the ball harder or more often than Manny Machado in the big leagues. So he's a year older. He's got a little bit more experience, and that took a lot of patience to get through that streak last year where he hit the ball hard and he wasn't rewarded for it. I think it's a matter of time before that evens out. You know, some of those balls that Manny hit hard last year, I think they're going to go out of the ballpark this year, and I don't think they're putting fielders on the other side of the fence. But with Manny, they worked real hard to get him out, and they got him out last year. I think he's going to have better luck this year, if you will, and those balls are going to drop in.
Dan, I think we were all a little bit disappointed with Chris Davis's output during the course of the year. Never Chris Davis, because I know he's always trying. But we're doing some different things with him now, and he's moving in a direction I think is going to be real positive for the ball club. What do you feel about him at this point?
Well, I was really encouraged because Chris Davis made some adjustments in spring training to how the defenders were playing him last year. You know, they play that shift. He hits a lot of balls into the shift. I saw him put some balls to the left side of the infield to take a little pressure off the shift, and I saw him lay down some bunts in spring training. And I think that's going to help him quite a bit because now they can't shift the whole count on him to the right side and take away some of those line drives that he hits into the shift. and then he should be on base more often if he's using the left side of the infield. And to me, the key to him, and I told this 1,000 times, I've told him this, is you put the ball in play to the other side, hit it to the shortstop, because he's got that great power to go out of the ballpark. And once he does that, he's in business all over the ballpark.
And Chris Davis, of course, hits like .313 when he makes contact with the ball. So contact is a very important thing with Chris Davis. Now, here you became a granddad during the month of March. What's that like?
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Our son, Daniel, had a baby, his wife, Erin. Daniel Duquette III, D3. And he, just a week ago, got a really nice present from the Angelos family today, recognizing Daniel's birth, which we really appreciate, and we're so happy to add him to the roster. He was announced during a scouting meeting last week. He was born at 7 a.m., and we had a scouting meeting at 9 and welcomed him to the team.
So let me ask you this. If you had a choice of what he will call you eventually, Pop-Pop, Poppy, Granddad?
I don't know. The other kids are calling me Gramps. I don't know about that one, but they seem to really enjoy it.
It's way too old.
Yeah, they really enjoy it.
Well, we thank Gramps for showing up here to talk a little Orioles baseball here on opening day 2018.